The salt-laced wind whipped around Adrian Reed as he stood on the balcony of the old lighthouse, waves crashing below. Viridia, the city he once swore to protect, shimmered in the distance, a glittering trap of neon and steel. He had escaped, but he was not free. Marina, his trusted partner, had betrayed him, leading the Directorate's agents right to his door. He barely survived, now hiding in this crumbling, isolated tower. Off the grid, a blind spot in the Directorate's digital eye. Every shadow felt like a threat, every creak a warning. Adrian had uncovered Project Chimera, a conspiracy reaching into every corner of Viridia's power. He'd brought the explosive data to Marina, hoping to expose the truth together. Instead, she chose her side. Now Adrian was a fugitive, haunted by the city he loved, armed only with a dangerous secret. The lighthouse was not a tomb, it was a fortress. As he stared at the city, a flicker of defiance ignited within him. They had taken everything but not his resolve. From this fortress, Adrian would begin his fight. He would not let Viridia fall into darkness without a reckoning. The city's fate, and his own, hung in the balance. The battle for truth had just begun, and Adrian Reed was ready. Adrian knew he couldn't fight alone. He needed the Maestro, a reclusive genius, his former mentor, and the only one who could outmaneuver the Directorate's digital reach. The Maestro, hidden in a cluttered workshop, listened to Adrian's story and agreed to help. He secured the lighthouse's network, provided untraceable communications, and became the architect of Adrian's resistance. "They think technology is their sword," the Maestro said. "We'll turn it into their cage." He offered more than tech support. He had a list of people wronged by the system, potential allies. "You need a team, Adrian. A ghost can't win a war." The Maestro gave him two names, a tech expert and an insider still within the force. With the Maestro's guidance, Adrian's rebellion had its foundation. The fight was no longer his alone. The resistance was taking shape. The Maestro's first name was Silas, a brilliant hacker ruined by the Directorate's schemes. Adrian found him in a dingy internet cafe, distrustful and bitter. Instead of pleading, Adrian showed Silas proof. The Directorate had destroyed his life's work. Fury replaced suspicion. "What do you need me to do?" Silas asked. The Resistance had its tech expert. The second recruit was Kaito, a principal detective and Adrian's former colleague. Meeting in a deserted car park, Adrian gave Kaito a breadcrumb trail, evidence to investigate himself. "Don't trust me, trust your instincts," Adrian urged. Days later, Kaito's encrypted message arrived. "I'm in." The Resistance now had its inside man. With Silas and Kaito, Adrian's team was complete. Each brought skills and risks. Together they would challenge the Directorate's grip on Viridia. The first sparks of rebellion had been lit. The city's fate would be decided by these unlikely allies. The fight was about to escalate. The Resistance was ready. The war for Viridia had begun. Adrian's greatest fear was for his sister Maya, the only family he had left. To protect her, he cut off all contact, watching over her from afar through hacked cameras. But the Directorate's reach was relentless. Maya's panicked voicemail shattered his resolve. "Strange men came to my apartment. I'm scared." The Directorate was using her as bait. Adrian faced an agonizing choice: continue the mission or risk Maya's life. The Maestro urged caution. Surrender would mean failure for everyone. But the guilt was crushing. His fight for justice had endangered the person he loved most. Adrian vowed to do both, save his sister and expose the truth. The mission was now deeply personal. The stakes had never been higher. Maya's fate and the city's were now intertwined. Adrian could not fail. With Maya in danger, the team worked frantically to uncover Project Chimera's true purpose. Silas hacked deeper, Kaito cross-referenced files, and the horrifying truth emerged. Project Chimera was a mind control program using drugs, sonic frequencies, and programming to create a docile, weaponized populace. The so-called traitors were victims, turned into puppets for the Directorate's agenda. Then, Silas found Maya's name on the patient list. Her intake was imminent. The team had less than 48 hours. The plan: raid the Crucible, the secret lab beneath Viridia Stadium. Objectives: rescue Maya, secure evidence, and unmask the mastermind. The mission was now a rescue and a declaration of war. The city's soul, and Maya's life, were at stake. There was no turning back. The team prepared for their most dangerous move yet. The countdown had begun. The fate of Viridia would be decided in the shadows. The final battle was near. As the team prepared for the raid, suspicion and paranoia threatened to tear them apart. The Directorate always seemed one step ahead, safe houses raided, plans compromised. All eyes turned to Kaito, the only insider. Tension erupted. Accusations flew. Silas scoured their systems for a mole but found nothing. The real enemy was revealed. The Directorate's AI predicting their moves using surveillance and psychological profiling. There was no traitor, just a machine that knew them too well. The realization united the team, but the threat was more chilling than ever. They weren't just fighting people. They were fighting a ghost in the machine. The pressure mounted. Trust was their only weapon. The raid would test them all. The clock was ticking. The raid on the stadium began during a championship game, the crowd's roar masking their infiltration. Kaito disabled security, Silas looped cameras, and Adrian led the descent into the hidden lab. The crucible was a nightmare. Citizens strapped to chairs, minds broken by hypnotic screens and sonic waves. The scale of the operation was staggering. In the central chamber, a massive device pulsed, the source of the city-wide transmissions. Maya lay unconscious, prepped for the final procedure. Time was running out. Kaito held off guards as Adrian raced to save his sister. The horrors faded. Only Maya mattered. The mission had reached its most critical moment. Everything depended on what happened next. The team was out of time. The fight for Maya and Viridia came down to this. As Kaito fought off security, Adrian carried Maya to the control room. There, he confronted Elias Vance, Viridia's beloved billionaire, now revealed as the mastermind. Vance calmly explained his vision. Control was salvation, free will a flaw. He tried to justify Project Chimera as the path to a perfect society. Silas, meanwhile, copied all the evidence before Vance could wipe the system. "You can't kill an idea," Vance warned, triggering a lockdown. The facility began to seal. The team had the truth, but now had to escape with it. The Directorate's web was vast, but their secrets were finally exposed. The race was on, to survive and reveal everything. The city's future depended on their escape. The final confrontation had begun. The truth was their only weapon. The escape from the Crucible was chaos, alarms blaring the city in shock. Back at the lighthouse, the team prepared to broadcast the truth. Silas hijacked the city's emergency system. Kaito fortified their last stand. Adrian sat with Maya, waiting for her to wake. The evidence was ready. Footage names Vance's confession. Adrian's face appeared on every screen in Viridia. He told the city everything. Project Chimera, the Directorate, the stolen lives. The footage played. Silence fell. Then, outrage erupted. The people of Viridia poured into the streets. The illusion of safety shattered. Lights flickered on, voices rose, and the city awakened. The revolution had begun. The Directorate's grip was breaking. The people were ready to fight for their freedom. The tide was turning. The Directorate struck back, sending armored vehicles to the lighthouse. Inside, the team braced for the final assault. Kaito defended the base, Silas disrupted enemy comms, Adrian stayed with Maya. The first wave hit hard. Kaito was nearly overrun. Then, Marina appeared, not as an enemy but as an ally, freed from Chimera's control by the broadcast. She fought alongside them, seeking redemption. The battle raged. Adrian was wounded, but Maya saved him, proving her own strength. As a helicopter hovered, the people of Viridia arrived by boat, forming a protective barrier around the lighthouse. The city had come to defend its heroes. Seeing the uprising, the Directorate retreated. The team escaped into the citizen fleet, battered but alive. The battle for the lighthouse was over, but the war for Viridia had just begun. Together, they had ignited a revolution. The fight for what is right is never easy, but even a few determined people can change the world. The darkness was breaking. Hope had returned to Viridia. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment. Facts, intrigue, story, history. FISH is here to stay. Come fish with us.